Freeroam, being able to move. It's not something us FNAF fans get to experience very often, with some exceptions. Many FNAF fan games have tried to push the franchise into this more open gameplay format, especially before releases like Security Breach. Many have missed the mark, to say the least. However, there are some which I feel do a good job at taking FNAF and putting it into this new style, and that's what I'm gonna talk about, along with why I think they accomplish it, and others that fail. Keep in mind, when I say free roam, I don't mean something like the minigames in Sister Location or FNAF 4, where you can technically move. I'm talking about ones where you are in a 3D environment and can control which direction you are moving in along with the camera, you know, like in Security Breach. So like and subscribe and let's start. First up is the glitched attraction. Now this fan game is on here because it does a lot right. I don't like every aspect of this game, I think it is flawed, but hey, so is everyone, especially my content. However, I think that it does a lot right, but I will point out its weak points. I think that this game highlights the good of FNAF Freeroam and the bad. For example, let's take a look at the Ennard level. In the Ennard level, you're in this warehouse and you need to run away from Ennard, meanwhile you go and activate some stuff by using these switches. You can slow Ennard down by pushing down wooden pallets. I mean, what is a 10-foot tall metal abomination gonna do against some wood? You also have a flashlight that you remotely charge, which creates noise. Now, this type of free roam in FNAF is bad. It's similar to the Joy of Creation Reborn. I emphasize the Reborn version, and a lot like Security Breach. The problem with these types of games is that they aren't FNAF. Well, Security Breach is FNAF, but I mean the classic FNAF gameplay. This is one of the major reasons Security Breach has so much mixed reception. Let's take a look at the gameplay in the original games. The games are all about sitting in an office, using resources you are given to defend yourself from the animatronics and strategize by using resource management. There is strategy in FNAF, and you, the player, have to be careful so that you do not run out of your resources. You have to take risks by being more vulnerable to the animatronics by using less of your limited resources. But what do these free roam segments in these games have? Well, they have you running away, trying to evade your enemies. What I want to make clear here is that this isn't bad. There are reasons games like Outlast, Alien Isolation, and Resident Evil are so popular. My problem with these is that it's taking FNAF, a strategy game where you sit and strategize, manage your resources in order to survive. I don't think turning FNAF into this game where you just run away from animatronics is a good idea, because that's not what FNAF has been about. FNAF has never been like other horror games, that's what made FNAF so popular. It was really unique. The glitch attraction unfortunately does have these mediocre segments. The Ennard level. When I first played glitch attraction, I actually quit at this level because I hated it so much. But hey, this video is about FNAF fan games that do free roam right, and the glitch attraction I feel actually does free roam in a good way in some of the levels. For example, let's look at the first stage, the FNAF 4 one. This stage is basically an escape room. You have to do several puzzles in order to break free. Of course, you are able to walk around, search shelves, and of course, try not to die. When Nightmare Fredbear is creepily stalking you through the window, close the curtains, flash the Fertiles that appear around the room, and flash Nightmare BB when he starts having a seizure. You okay, bro? When Nightmare Rion tries to get in, make sure to wear your Fredbear armor, and make sure not to run out of time. So what do I like about this? Well, you are still able to walk around, in a small area that is, but I feel this game is similar to the classic FNAF gameplay because you are still in an enclosed space, desperately trying to survive, meanwhile you try to make progress on escaping. This of course does not have the resource management aspect, which is why I love FNAF 1 for example, but I feel this makes up for it by taking advantage of the fact the game is free roam. You explore and do puzzles in between trying to survive, and I like that. Exploring around and doing puzzles work much better in free roam rather than point and click. So even if there isn't a resource management aspect, the gameplay is still interesting because there is still something to do when nothing is attacking you. This version of FNAF Freeroam is similar to FNAF gameplay. It doesn't just take FNAF characters and dump them in a setting where they chase you and you have to run away. That's what I really like about this. It takes FNAF and adapts it into a new format. This version of FNAF Freeroam retains what made FNAF so unique. It doesn't just butcher it. Fuck you, Ennard. Of course, there's more than just these two. We also have the FNAF 3 level, Sister Location and Pizza Sim level, and, well, the FNAF 2 level. I'm fine with the FNAF 2 level. Sure, it isn't my favorite, but I like that the space isn't too big. Like, the whole map is a small oval. In addition, there's also Freddy with his music box, so sometimes you have to take a risk and try to sneak past Toy Chica in order to wind Freddy up. But this level isn't my favorite, it's just walk around and collect stuff. I have some problems with this FNAF 3 level. Sure, it's probably the closest to traditional FNAF gameplay in this game, but instead of walking around and solving puzzles, you play this minigame and you occasionally check back on the animatronics to make sure they don't kill you. I feel like this is close to classic FNAF gameplay, but it doesn't fully take advantage of Freeroam, because all you do is run to this arcade machine and play the minigame, and then run back. Except how you defend yourself. When you hear Springtrap making his way through the vents into your office, it's really stressful. You quickly have to run over to the switch and then back to the desk. You also have to hide at the right side under the desk from Dreadbear. It's not perfect, I feel like this level does not take full advantage of the free roam it has, but I still like it. Same with the Sister Location and FNAF 6 level. So let's talk about the glitched attraction overall. There are some meh levels, especially the Ennard level that was just running away from him. It wasn't fun, it was nothing close to FNAF gameplay, but most of the other levels adapt FNAF into Freeroam well. Meanwhile, taking advantage of the fact that it's in Freeroam. I mean, why have a Freeroam game if you don't take advantage of the Freeroam? This is something I feel Glitch Attraction mostly does really well. Taking FNAF, putting it into Freeroam, maintaining what makes FNAF, well, FNAF, meanwhile combining FNAF with Freeroam, combining the two, not just putting FNAF characters into Freeroam, you know, like the Joy of Creation Reborn. Speaking of the Joy of Creation, that's the next game I'm gonna talk about, the story mode version. And yes, I know that there is a remake coming soon, but hey, it's not out yet and I wanna make this video. So I'm gonna talk about the game we have now. Just like the Glitch Attraction, this game is not perfect. Like the basement, it had you walking around, and that endoskeleton part that Security Breach borrowed. But I want to talk about the good parts. In this one, you are in this office. You play as Scott Coffin, creator of Pine Frights at Eddie's. You get to use his sick gaming setup to monitor the house. You use the cameras to see where Freddy and Foxy are. Flash Freddy and stalk Foxy. Bonnie is a little shy, so he will destroy the camera when you look at him. One of the things I don't like about this level is that this is a good thing, because Foxy can't spawn there anymore. There is no real punishment for letting Bonnie destroy the camera, just flash there occasionally for Freddy. Also, Chica makes an appearance. Just flash her cupcake and she won't lose her shit. This is free roam. You are free to roam around the room, and this ties in with the gameplay. You have to go around and flash Freddy and collect Chica's cupcakes. I like it. It has a good mixture of sitting down and tracking your enemies and actually, you know, walking. This section is missing one thing. On your way to walk to a door to flash it, you're not in that much of a hurry. Sure, you can't use up all the time in the world, but the short walk will most likely not lead to death. And that's where the living room level comes in. The office segment is good. Like I said, I think it combines FNAF and free roam well, but this takes it on another level. This level is by far my favorite implementation of free roam FNAF. Here's how this shit goes down. You're in the living room, you can walk around. You have a big TV Mr. Coffin was able to buy with all that sweet FNAF money. Freddy and Foxy are coming for you. You can view their view? The fuck did I just say? And slow one of them down at a time. Be careful, however. Bonnie is slowly creeping closer, and Chica is there, I guess. What I like about this is that, well, there's a lot of strategy. Freddy and Foxy are constantly on your mind, and you don't want to end up in a position where they are gonna enter the room at the same time. You need every second you get. Getting shit done quickly is vital for survival, as being able to freeze Freddy and Foxy as much as possible will improve the chances of them not killing you. If you play your cards right, that is. The Freeroam aspect plays a big role in this level. The walk from the TV to the doors is important because you wanna squeeze out every second you can, but the animatronics don't wait for you at the door. Nah, they're not knocking, they're just barging in, and if you're there, in hand, there's nothing you can do. Chica is not that big of a deal, but Bonnie is. You're unable to slow Bonnie down. When he comes, he comes. What I like about Bonnie here is that if he's about to enter and you see that Foxy is close, there's not much you can do. You can maybe freeze Foxy for just long enough so that you have enough time when Bonnie closes the door, but the animatronics stay at the doors for quite a long time. And then your sequence might get more messed up because Freddy was able to catch up to Foxy. It's a real shit show, and it requires a lot of planning and strategy. The Freeroam aspect here is really good. You need to hide from the animatronics, and walking around the room knowing you could be pausing the animatronics, allowing yourself to separate the two as much as possible, leads to the player trying to hurry up. And like I mentioned before, pause as much as possible down to the last second. The feeling that you get as well when hiding from one of the animatronics, looking at the other doors desperately hoping that they don't just forcefully open it. This level is really tense. I feel like it combines FNAF strategy and planning well with the Freeroam aspect. The Freeroam is important and ties in with the gameplay. It also makes sense, you can only hide from one of the animatronics and you hurry up to not waste time trying to squeeze every drop of that pause button you can. That is why I love this level. It takes the good strategy and planning of FNAF Office gameplay and combines it with Freeroam. You walk around and the Freeroam actually means something. So, those were some Fnaf Fangames that I believe do Freeroam right. Now I know that I also talked a lot about ones I didn't like. I did also go in depth on why I don't like certain fangames, but I felt like it was important. So, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. This was GameSpeaking, and goodbye.